up, YouTube? It is NZ Dreamer here, and today we're going to be talking about a dream I had a few weeks ago. This is a dream about Arab slaves in Egypt, and let's get straight into it. In the dream, I saw this golden Instagram post. I saw like this thing that looked like an Instagram post that had golden outlines, and I heard this Arab guy speaking, and he said that the reason why uh, Muslims hate idolatry like Hinduism is because they were slaves in Egypt and during the time of Moses. So basically, what the dream is saying is the reason why Islam hates non-Islamic religions and pagan religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and any other religion such as that, like the Egyptian religions, basically because they were enslaved in Egypt during the time of Moses. So when the Israelites left Egypt and Moses crossed the Red Sea, the Arabs were also slaves as well as the Israelites. Basically, the Israelites were not the only slaves in ancient Egypt. The Arabs were enslaved. So the Arabian people in the Arabian Peninsula who live in the Middle East now and that Muhammad was of, they were enslaved by the Egyptians at presumably the same time as Moses, for presumably the same reasons. But so the pharaohs, they enslaved basically multiple different ethnicities. Because if you look at the history of the Middle East and of Egypt, there were lots of different Semitic ethnicities in Egypt, such as the Hyksos, the Arabs, and the Israelites, and other such people such as the Canaanites. So it's very likely the Egyptians would have enslaved other people as they enslaved the Nubians, and they conquered the Nubians, who are now the Sudanese and the Ethiopians. So, yeah, that's on the dream. Basically, for why they hate Egypt and Hinduism specifically is because basically the Hindus and the Egyptians and the Indians and the Egyptians have a connection. Basically, there are some ideas that the Egyptians were descended from Indians who settled Egypt, and they got kicked out of like Egypt by this Hindu avatar named Parashurama, who's basically this like really wrathful character in Hindu religion. So yeah, basically there are some connections between ancient Egypt and Hinduism. There's a monkey god in Hinduism called Hanuman. There's a monkey god in the Egyptian religion called, I don't remember his name, but there is one. Also, there's a few linguistic similarities. There's a guy called Nama, and his name sounds like Namaste. There was a pharaoh called Nama, his name sounds like Namaste. There's a name in ancient Egypt called Ramses, which sounds like Ramesses. And there was a guy in Hinduism called Rama. And there have been links found in India between the Indians and the Egyptians. Some darker Egyptians look like southern Indians from Kerala and stuff like that. So there are connections. Basically, what's going on is that the Arabs who founded Islam, they really hate Hinduism because they feel the trauma that got inflicted on them when they were enslaved by the Egyptians. They basically came to hate paganism and foreign religion so much that they would kill anyone and hurt anyone who was a pagan or who disliked the religion. So that's why they just wanted revenge on the Egyptians for enslaving them. And I think that can explain why there are so many good relationships between Jewish people and Arabs and Muslims. Basically, the Arabs and the Israelites have always been friends. They've always been friends because they were both enslaved at the same time as each other. And unfortunately, well, the Israelites were able to leave Egypt. The Arabs were presumably never able to leave Egypt until later on. I don't know how the Arabs got out of Egypt and stopped being slaves, but yeah, they were apparently slaves. Yeah. What I forgot to say was that in the dream, I kind of knew that the slavery they were talking about was during the time of Moses. So when Moses was around, and there were these Israelite Hebrew slaves, there were also Arabs. Because think about it, it says Hebrew. Hebrew doesn't just mean Israelite; it also means other ethnicities. So the Arabs could have been one of those ethnicities. And if you look in the Book of Genesis, there are actually different, like there are actually mentions of the Arabs in the Book of Genesis, Basically, they are called Ishmaelites because the Arabs are said to have descended from Ishmael, and they enslaved Joseph, who was one of the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. And they basically had a relationship with the Egyptians. So, yeah, I want to say if you're an Arab and you're watching this, and you know anything about this historical thing, I just want to say, tell me your thoughts in the comments and leave me some sources and some links because, yeah, I have no connection to like the Arab people or anything. I have no connection to the Arab people or to any ethnicity in the Middle East. I am a white man from New Zealand. So yeah, if you're anyone else who has knowledge, a Hebrew Israelite, a Jew, or whatever, I just want to let you know about this. So if you're an Arab or a Jew, and you wonder why you two have the relationship you do, I think this is the reason why. And if you're a Hindu, don't take offense to anything I've said. I'm not saying your religion is idolatrous or bad or anything. I have no problem with your religion. This is simply the viewpoint of the person in the dream. So yeah. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this dream. I will be posting more dreams soon.